you doing? What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We just hit 160,000 miles with this truck over a 7-year period, and it has been phenomenal. I've had very minimal issues. I've seen a lot of other people talk about issues they've had with their truck, especially the 12th gen F-150s. Before I purchased this truck, I just had a couple things that I wanted. I wanted it to be a crew cab. I wanted it to be the short bed, 5.5 foot. Had to have a V8. My 2007, I put a different exhaust on it, and I liked the way it sounded. The V8 rumble, like, how do you not like it? The main thing was, though, I told myself I don't want the V6 EcoBoost. I've heard of too many horror stories. I don't want it. I want V8. In the event I put exhaust on it, it's got some tone, it's got some rumble. Looking back now, I kind of wish I had the EcoBoost, probably because this thing hauling my bass boat with 22s is kind of a turd. I want the EcoBoost, but at the same time, this truck has been so good that looking back now, knowing that I know now, I would not have gotten the EcoBoost. Future truck is going to. This truck, super happy with it. I've had very minimal issues, like I said. Even just overall interior, electronics, things like that. I've had a couple things go bad, but it's been just very minuscule. This has been the best truck I've ever had. I would 110% purchase it again. So I just want to give you guys some insight on things that went wrong with this truck and things to look for. If you're thinking about the V8, you don't even have to think about it. It is a better engine than the EcoBoost. Maybe people are going to argue that in the comments, but for the most part, the 5.0 V8 Coyote engine, it's the best.
I stare blank at the world around me, losing faith is the way you found me. Every day I see you grow colder, and I know it's over.
Okay, we had to get a bag of dog food for the Wrigley man, so we need to get this video back going though.
Every day I see you grow colder, and I know it's just one more day.
Let's just start off by getting into the exterior of the truck. The only problem I've ever had with the braking system, pads and one of the calipers seized up on me over time, and I started to notice the truck every so often would pull to the left. I immediately knew something's going on. It's probably something brake related. Had a caliper seized up, swapped that out. It actually improved my gas mileage, so it probably was seized up for just a little bit, and it was just not enough for me to even notice in the steering wheel. But then it got to the point where my steering wheel was just clicking over to the left a lot. But outside of the seized brake caliper, normal brake pads and rotors. I think I've only went through a couple since having this truck. Next on that list, windshield wiper blades. That's like a given. I don't even know why I'm saying that, but windshield wiper blades, cheap. They go bad, especially in Iowa, winter, snow, you get it, ice. Headlights. Now, this was more of a cosmetic upgrade, but at the same time, so this truck came with this is the 2013, so it comes with the 2013, the 2014 comes with the HID projector front end. And what you'll notice over time, especially if you're going through the automatic car wash with brushes, it actually started to scrape and wear the clear coat off of the headlights to where I really hated the way it looked. That was more of a reason for me to switch to the Morimotos. But I've had the Morimotos now for maybe 2 years, maybe just under 2 years. This light is always on. You cannot shut it off. Always on. Cool? Yes. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's getting that crack on the inside of the lens. It's not like bad, but it's just from these lights being on 24/7 when the truck's driving, which I kind of don't like, considering it is what it is. And this doesn't even particularly, relate to the 2013 or 14 HID projector front end. This is going to be any vehicle for that matter. But if you do have an F-150 and you notice that your clear coat is coming off, you can't just fix that with a headlight restoration kit. You actually have to sand that clear coat off, re-clear it, or you need to look into purchasing lenses. Now, there are lenses on eBay that you can purchase. You're gonna have to heat your factory headlights up, pull that lens off, and then you can put the new eBay lens on. It's not the easiest of tasks, but there's a lot of people that do it. I've done it to my previous trucks. For me, the perfect fit was just going with the Morimoto. The other thing you need to watch out for, is these bumpers are steel, especially the painted ones, they can rust out. Mine don't actually have any rust, but it's just got rock chips, and where the rock chips are, you can see it's like a surface rust, it's not actual rust. So be on the lookout for that. My rear bumper, I'll show you guys, it's actually got a little spot of rust. So you can see right around here, and that's from water coming out of that sensor. It does actually have a little rust right there. But I replaced this bumper. You can buy these pre-painted, and it was only like 100 some bucks, maybe an hour and a half of work to swap that. So to me, even if the steel bumpers are rusting, it's not that big of a deal, especially when you can get already paint matched ones. That's easy. And while I have you guys back here, this right here is another issue. This is just something else, like especially if you're trying to like talk a car dealership down and you're just looking for anything. If you can just find anything that needs fixed, it's gonna help you get that price down. So this, of course, so see how I've pulled it now 3 times, and a lot of people, when they grab my handle, they think my truck's locked. It's not. Sometimes you just have to hit it with force, because if you just do that, it's not opening. You gotta actually force it. So to me, that's either something's wrong in there, but it's been like this for years and I just haven't fixed it. But I kind of like that in a sense, because then someone's gonna come up and think, oh, it's locked. But really, you just gotta give it some force, sometimes a couple pulls and it goes. So if you're looking for something, that's something else to do. Coming around up here to where I have the beloved rust. It's worse on the other side and I hate it. I got quoted to cut it out, new metal, 1,500 bucks painted. I really think that's a phenomenal deal, but I don't think I'm actually gonna fix it. This is a design flaw. The reason I've heard it does it is because of that third brake light. The seal in them goes bad. Water gets in it, goes down in there and gets stuck, which would make sense because I use the automatic car wash all the time. I had a Recon third brake LED light for the longest time, and then I just swapped over to the Morimoto. I don't know if maybe that was the deal. Maybe if I would have changed that seal earlier on, I don't know. It's devastating. There's so many trucks rusting. It is what it is. I'm on the verge of getting rid of this truck. I actually went and looked at a new vehicle yesterday. We didn't make the deal. Devastating, but there's more in the works. There's more in the works. But let's talk the suspension on the truck. I have the Rough Country leveling kit, 2-inch on the front, rear leveling block, and I have Bilstein rear shocks. I have 22 by 9.5 wheels. I think they're like a plus 11 offset, so they stick out just a little. Now you would think running that tire, and I've always ran 12.5 wide inch tires, so you would think running that I would eventually have some sort of wheel bearing suspension issue. I don't. After 160,000 miles, my front end is still tight. It drives straight. It drives smooth. I'm very shocked. I knew having this set up, I was maybe gonna have issues down the road, and knock on wood, the truck is still just perfectly tight. I'm impressed. The issue that I've had under the hood, this connector corroded really bad, and I believe that was because I just had a battery going bad. I kept cleaning it, putting the dielectric grease on it. Finally, I believe AutoZone basically has like a replacement part, which that's not a big deal at all. Outside of these battery terminals, I put in a K&N air filter. Right under the airbox intake, there is a T. That upper radiator T sometimes goes bad. I fixed it myself. Pretty simple task. You just have to drain your antifreeze, which is the toughest part. Now for the inside, I haven't really had too many issues, and the issues I have had haven't even cost me that much money. This switch, for instance, went bad. I think it was like 50 bucks. You do got to remove the airbag, but it's not that difficult. I literally watched a video on how to do it. Make sure you disconnect the negative on your battery terminal. And then when you take this off, it makes it easy to replace this. Super simple. If you have any knowledge of possibly working on something, swap it. If not, pay someone to do it. That's a pretty normal issue to fix on these, is this switch. And it's just a whole panel. And then coming over here, I've never had issues with power windows, the locks, anything like that. This switch, I have noticed, is starting to get to the point where I flick it up to make the automatic passenger window go all the way up, and sometimes I have to hit it a couple times. I'll probably order that here within the next couple weeks and get that switched out as well. Then the other thing that has happened just over time is where this door shuts on the frame. And you will see that over time, it just wore the paint off of it. Never had body work done to this, but I'm guessing the doors maybe drooped just a little, and so it's rubbing when it shuts. The next issue that I've had go wrong is this right here. Over time, and I've seen multiple F-150s do this, it's where your seat belt's supposed to go into. Just from the wear and tear at that miles, it just eventually breaks. I've seen multiple F-150s with this exact issue. I need to get the replacement part. Two more things. I've had to replace this. I just got this part off eBay. You can actually take this whole mechanism apart. There's screws, and then that allows you to replace this. And then this shifter switch. I have made a video on this. This is a very big problem. It's a simple solution, but the problem is figuring it out at first. And what happens is when you release this, a light on your dash shows I'm in park. When that switch goes bad and you let go and it doesn't show your truck in park, means your interior lights are going to stay on, and it's going to drain your battery, and you're not going to know what's wrong until you start Googling symptoms. So what you're going to do is this whole mechanism, if you have this style shifter, you literally just take both hands. I think I can do it. You just take both hands on the back side here and just pull up. So now that I have it up, usually what I do is I'm going to lift it. So these crimps, this is from me replacing the switch. So you can see that mechanism, when I push it, it's going up and down. So when you push this and you let go, it hits that switch up. And it says, hey, I'm in park. That's all it does. You can get this from AutoZone. AutoZone has this switch, and I think they have a 2-year warranty. This is my second switch on this truck. The first one I bought from eBay, and they said it's the exact same OEM part. This one I bought from AutoZone. It's going to run you more money, but you're going to also get, I believe, like a 2-year warranty with it. I've had it now for a while, issue-free. You just have to be careful when you pop this out because there's a couple tabs. So guys, that is everything that has went wrong with the truck. Everything else that I upgraded has been purely just for like pleasure, modification, looks, things like that. The stuff that we just broke down is everything that I've had to replace mechanically that had to be replaced that failed on me. I need to get going. I need to go take Wrigley for a walk. I don't know who gets more excited for the walks, Wrigley or me, because at this point, I like going for the walks just as much as he does. Till next time, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.